Tampon Tax Truths take on Tories. Trump takes on reality.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building.
And Johnson takes on English.
In particular, tossil.
These are the interesting times. Hello, my name's Matt Johnson and welcome to The Interesting Times, a show that likes to take a sideways swipe at politics right here in the UK. So, the first show of 2021. We've made it! A new year! So how's it going? Well, could be worse, I think.
That we've just received in relation to COVID deaths, and we are seeing, I'm afraid to say, the highest number of daily deaths since the pandemic began.
So war, death.
Rather than sending their trucks into the potential for blockages, they have decided that they will actually stockpile on either side and wait potentially until further on in January, even early February before.
It looks like we might have to wait a few more weeks for the famine, but what happened to the conquest? Come on guys, where's the conquest? They're always running late. But there's got to be good news, right? Yes, we've left the EU, so now we can get rid of the tampon tax. And congratulations must go to the likes of Gemma Abbott, a lawyer and campaigner with the Free Periods Group, who have campaigned for this and are still trying to get free sanitary products in all schools across England. Also, Laura Corrigan, who has campaigned to get rid of the tax for the last 6 years. And Paula Sherriff, who was a Labour Member of Parliament for Dewsbury and had spent years trying to get anybody within the male-dominated Conservative Party to abolish this tax. So who does Conservative MP James, controversially named cleverly, tweet his congratulations to? Why, it's Mark Wallace, the CEO of Conhome, a Conservative right-leaning Brexit-supporting website, and Man. He tweeted, "Well done for fighting a one-man war against the Tampon Tax Truths." Now, James doesn't actually mention who the truthers are, but current estimates put them at just over half the population. By the way, worth mentioning that the EU agreed to abolish this tax in 2018, and it will be gone by 2022, next year. So, considering the financial calamity of Brexit, seeing this as a win is the equivalent to getting yourself warm for a bit by setting fire to your house with yourself in it. All this is as nothing to what's happening over the pond in the US, and following his Let's March on the Capitol to persuade the Senate to keep me on as president, Donald tyrant having a tantrum Trump is facing mounting calls to resign, and Boris Johnson made it perfectly clear what he thought of this president.
He's the right man for the job. I've been saying that for a long time. Didn't make your predecessor very happy, but I've been saying it for a long time. He's the right man for the job.
You're on message there. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful.
Whoops, no, sorry, that's a clip showing Johnson and Trump indulging in some mutual backslapping and effectively giving each other some oral. Let's try that again.
How do you ginger up Donald Trump?
He has many good qualities.
All right, that's not it either. Third time lucky.
Boris Johnson. Good man. He's tough and he's smart. They're saying Britain Trump.
Well, this is just embarrassing now. I mean, those two are completely different. It's like chalk and chalk. Don't worry, we have the actual feed here.
What President Trump has been saying about that has been completely wrong, and I unreservedly condemn encouraging people to behave in the disgraceful way that they did in the Capitol. And all I can say is I'm very pleased that the President-elect has now been duly confirmed.
There we go, very pleased, and doesn't he look it? And finally, the UK passed a rather grim milestone last week, over 80,000 COVID-related deaths, including its worst ever single day on Friday, with 1,325 deaths in a single day. New variant first recognised in England is up to 7 times more contagious than the one that first hit our shores last year. It's a horrifying figure and difficult to get your head round. Newsnight attempted to do so with this sobering and grim statistic.
That's very nearly the full capacity of the Olympic Stadium from the London 2012 Games. Good night.
Only the US, Brazil, India and Mexico have recorded more deaths. There is light at the end of this dark tunnel though. 1.5 million people have been vaccinated already in the UK, and Boris was on hand to give an update.
Because I know there's now one question at the very top of your minds.
Who cuts your hair?
And that is how fast and how effectively we can get these millions of new vaccines into the arms of the most vulnerable and those who need them most.
Oh yes, sorry, that.
Yes, let's be clear, this is a national challenge on a scale like nothing we've seen before, and it will require an unprecedented national effort. And of course, there will be difficulties, appointments will be changed, but as Brigadier Prosser will shortly explain, the Army is working hand in glove with the NHS and local councils to set up our vaccine network and using battle preparation techniques to help us keep up the pace.
Well, apart from the slightly disconcerting use of the term battle techniques to describe the installation of the national rollout of the vaccine, I think this is going to work. And this isn't blind faith. The scientists put this together, the Standards Agency checked and approved it, the pharmacies are going to store it, the Armed Forces are going to help distribute it, and the NHS are going to administer it. All of these people are experts in their field. But what gives me the most belief is the role that the politicians are going to have. There isn't one. None. In fact, the limit of Boris's input in all this is reading out the briefing.
In particular, tocilizumab. Oh, sorry, I'll say it again. Tocilizumab and sarilumab.
Well, that's it for another week. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you are enjoying these videos, please don't forget to subscribe and hit all the notifications bell so you don't miss another. And I'll see you all next week. Take care.